We're still here. I'm here. Are you here?
I'm here, mate.
That's
Just
good.
about. That's what
We
it
haven't
feels
gone
like.
anywhere. It's been a while though, hasn't it?
It has been a while. It has definitely been a
I
while. So,
literally, and I know the saying, I had to like dust off my microphone, but I genuinely had to get dust off of my microphone. It's been there for a little while, not doing anything.
for obvious reasons, I've used mine a bit recently, but I had to dust it off. It was in the drawer, thinking, "Oh, where is it?"
Mm. Yeah, like we thought we would put a quick episode out explaining our absence. And the thing is that anyone that knows us knows that we're never not doing anything. Like this isn't. I know this is the podcast, and there will be people that only listen to the podcast, but there'll be other people that follow us on socials and whatever else. And we're always busy, too busy sometimes, but all for the good reason, and all for because we're so passionate about what we do, and we're always every day in some form or another supporting men, which is a blessing.
Yeah, it definitely is, isn't it, mate? And we have been busy. We've
Mm,
been to the Fertility Show
yeah,
since our last recording, which is an incredible weekend. It's a weekend that I always look forward to,
yeah,
even though I am completely knackered after it because
yeah.
it's so intense. But it's this one I think was the best one we've been at from a male perspective.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, there was like across the board. So from what the show put on, like there was a lot more male voices there being represented on the panels, which we had a big part to play in, which we were really grateful for. We approached them and said, "Hey, look, why don't we, instead of just talking again, why don't you let us host some panels on each day as NeXYs Fertility?" And they were like, "Yeah, great." So we put on a panel on each day. Like you hosted one on the Saturday on male fertility generally with three guys. And then I hosted one on the Sunday about donor conception, sperm donor conception, with again three lads on the panel who travelled like on both days from far and wide to be a part of that as well. Like on the Saturday, Alistair was there, who came down from Glasgow.
Yeah.
On the Sunday, on my panel, we had Paul from Yorkshire, just a bit further north than where you travelled from, and he came down just to do that talk for half an
Yeah.
hour.
And
So
then he travelled back.
incredible.
Yeah, Alistair, 11 hours in the car it took him.
Yeah,
What a legend. What a
he is.
legend. And yeah, and Paul as well. He literally got on the train, came down, did the talk, got on the train, went home.
Mike.
And I know how far that is. Like,
Yeah.
that's a long way.
And the thing is,
So
it's incredible what was put on from those talks. But it's like I said to Paul, so he is a sperm donor recipient father, but his kids are older, like in their teens. And I was listening to him, even though I was there hosting the panel, and I was learning from him. And that's the thing is, we're all bringing each other up here. We're all supporting each other in some way, and that's the beauty of it. It's not about one person knowing everything. It's that we all learn from each other. We can pick up useful tools and anecdotes. And yeah, I was just sitting there listening, thinking, "That's amazing. That's amazing." Like literally making like mental notes of what he was saying because he's that bit further ahead of me, and it's
yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, I feel that like with the panel that I did, like each guy brought something else, like another. Yes, we're all there for the same purpose in terms of raising awareness of male fertility, and we have our fertility struggles, but everyone had a different story to tell, but could
Yeah,
bring equally as valuable information. It was just so good to see, man.
yeah,
Yeah, I was when you do talks and that, like you'll know this feeling, mate. Sometimes you sit down, you're a bit nervous. Like we still get nervous now, but it was the most comfortable I felt in terms of sitting down with three other guys to talk about something that we're so passionate about now. And it was just so fantastic to see other
yeah,
guys there doing it.
yeah,
Amazing.
100%.
It's definitely not true that men don't want to talk. We've just got to
Oh
give them
no,
the right platform and make them comfortable to talk, and they will. The fertility show proved that.
yeah, and that was the talks that we were involved in. But then we were on a stand again for our second year now, and yeah, just we were non-stop. And do you know what? I'm going to just pull up a message, completely unplanned, but I know who sent it, so I can quickly search it. This was someone else who, like Tia, who's in this space on the female side, Tia Brown. So I saw her leaving on the Saturday, and I was like, "Oh, there's Tia." I didn't get a chance to speak to her, so I messaged her after, and I said, "I'm really sorry I didn't get to speak to you." And so this is her message: hey, Sean, every time we walk past, you were busy supporting someone, which is absolutely amazing. And it made me smile knowing that there is now support out there specifically for men when there wasn't anything when we were in the depths of infertility like yourself. So keep doing what you're doing. And I was just like, oh, and that message sums it up, because we were constantly talking to people who,
Yeah.
and it's like I said to people who came up to us, I was like, I wish I hadn't met you. I mean that I genuinely mean that, because they're there because they are going through fertility struggles and they need support and they need expert help as well to try and get the dream of a family that they desire. And I wish they didn't have to be there, of course. But the fact that they are, and the fact that we're there to pick up the pieces from the male side, it makes me proud. And it makes me proud that so many people came up to us and were seeking that support. So yeah, it was non-stop. And it's like my watch, for example, tells me how many steps I do in a day, which is probably not enough as I should be. You get those days where you do loads of walking and you're like, wow, like 24,000 steps, whatever. That's loads more than what I usually do. But if my voice had some sort of word count for the day, those 2 days at the fertility show are like off the scale to what I usually say in a day. It's, yeah, full on.
It's surprisingly how draining it is. It is quite tough, isn't it? It is one of those things. We love doing it, but we always say on that Saturday when we're leaving, like, oof, ready for a rest.
Yeah. The thing is, we're on our feet all day, we're talking all day, but it's not just that, it's emotionally taxing, because we're talking to people who you see the emotion in their eyes, and we do have people cry with us, and I've cried with them as well. And it's hard because we do this because we really care, and it's hard to not take on some of that as well, because we're so emotionally invested in helping people. And so it's everything, physically, mentally, and emotionally. But it's so good to be there.
Yeah, 100%. More men coming to us than ever, and more. We've talked about this before, haven't we, Sean? How people, because we're right by the front, people often walk in, they see us, and they walk off initially, but they do a couple of circuits and then come back to us. And what really stood out for me this year was the amount of men that came to us independently.
Yeah.
Previously, we've had couples come up to us, and that still happened this year, but we had more guys come up to us and thank us, or even just say, I didn't know this existed. And that, for me, that just shows, even though if they didn't know we were out there, the work that's being done around male fertility and the awareness of it is breaking down the stigma of it.
Yeah.
Even if, say, those guys weren't aware that we existed, it's the fact of somehow they've developed the confidence to be able to walk towards two guys that are presenting themselves as the faces of fertility for men in the industry, and they feel confident in doing that. So that was my highlight. That really was my highlight. For just the amount of guys that came up to us independently were willing to have that conversation in an open space as well. Because that's the other aspect. It's fine engaging, say on social media, you can send someone a private message. But when you're in a room full of other people, well, that's like another challenge in itself.
Yeah.
And there was one guy in particular, I can't remember his name, but he came on, I think he came on the Saturday. He came on the Saturday and I saw him walk past a few times. And then he just appeared on the Sunday and started chatting to us. And it was a fantastic conversation, but it just shows actually the stigma is going and people are starting to acknowledge it as a topic that can be talked about.
Yeah, massively. Yeah, and I think we don't often blow our trumpets, but I think we should take some credit for that, because it does come from us showing up consistently and authentically as well, I think, which is important, because people can have a cynical view of the industry, but when we're there, like you said, we're there to support people, and the support we offer through NeXYs is free, always will be, and I think that shines through. There's no agenda for anything.
No, and I think that's highlighted in the community sometimes, isn't it? Like bullshit raiders get called out quite a bit, but that's how men are. Men are. It's about the trust element of things, and why we try and keep that integrity so high. But yeah, the fertility show was great. But it did take me a few days to recoup. Was it 5 days for you, Sean?
About 5 days for me. But I had the extra mileage to put in as well to get home. But yeah, but the thing is, it wasn't the fertility show. It was like in the middle of something else that we've been working on massively before and after, and we're saying like being tired from it, but there was no rest for the wicked, as they say, and no respite, because it was straight back into what else we've been doing, which is what we want to come on to. Now, we've talked a few times in this pod alone, let alone all of the ones before, about NeXYs, about community, and we've alluded to it, but things are changing, exciting things, and yeah, we're going through a bit of at first, there's various changes coming up, and the first thing that's going to happen is a bit of a name change, isn't it? What are we moving to?
So we are now moving to the Male Fertility Hub. So
Yeah.
we will be known as the Male Fertility Hub. And the reason for that is simply we want it to do what it says on the tin.
Exactly.
Right? So we love the name NeXYs Fertility. When we came up with it, when Sean initially sent me that voice note, what was it, 2 years ago, like the concept of it was perfect. But in order to grow the community and to engage with more and more men, we've come to the realization that, yeah, it's got to do what it says on the tin. And
Well, that's
the
the
Male
thing. It's
Fertility
like
Hub says
it
what it
does.
does.
Yeah. And it's like NeXYs was great, and I'm going to always be biased about it because I came up with NeXYs at first, which is the Latin word for a central place of convergence for community and bringing people together. Then I was like, oh, if we change the U for a Y, then it's got the X and Y for men.
Yeah.
But the amount of times I've had to describe that and explain, so when people go, what does NeXYs mean then? It starts losing its value and its appeal when you have to explain it. But then also we were talking about changing it, weren't we? And then I was at a talk in March and you came up. I was talking, but you were there next to me in the audience. And as I got introduced onto stage by the host, they said, so our next speaker is Sean Greenaway from NeXYs Fertility. And so, yeah, Sean, come to the stage. And then as I stood up, I just said to you, yeah, we're definitely changing the fucking name.
We have put some serious thought into this, but if there was ever a defining moment,
Yeah.
that was it. And it was, I think I spent about 3 minutes just laughing at the back. They probably thought, you're supposed to be supporting him. You're just laughing at him.
I think the funny thing is, as well, is what we were changing too. So obviously this is the Male Fertility Podcast. I've had the handle for a while for my website, the Male Fertility Coach, for the coaching that I do on the mental and physical side. You are the Male Fertility PT for the fitness coaching you do and lifestyle. So we've got all these things, the Male Fertility. So it made sense to be the Male Fertility something for the community. But what's really funny is that we started off with Hub, didn't we? Then we went around the houses. We sat down and had a meeting, which went on for an hour and a half, coming up with all these different words, what it could be. And then we came right back round to the Hub. And like you said, in the end, we just went, it does exactly what it says on the tin.
There was that distinct moment because I was really, I think you went to Hub before I did. And then there was that moment I was like, oh, fuck, it's Hub, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're back to that. It does exactly what it says. So, yeah, that will be live now. We are now the Male Fertility Hub. And we truly believe it's taking us to the next phase of, shall I say in bracket, NeXYs, because we're not NeXYs anymore. We're the Male Fertility Hub.
It'll always be there somewhere as part of the legacy.
100%. I'm still keen on getting some t-shirts done. I love a t-shirt.
But yeah, you love it, honestly. Even last night you sent me a Wankxiety design. But yeah, no, there's a lot more coming. The website's getting a complete revamp. How and where we run the community is going to change. What we offer within the community is going to change, because we're always thinking, like, we're always listening to the community, what they want. We're always asking them what they want, because we said earlier about different perspectives, like on panels and stuff. We don't ever pertain to know all the answers. We experience what we experienced in the way we experienced it, which is dependent on a lot from the moment we were born, the beliefs and values and upbringing we had from peers, parents, teachers, social media, mainstream media. All that forms who we are. So we just share our perspectives. what the community wants and needs is times at the moment, 220, 20, 30 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Different perspectives of what. So we're always going, okay, what do they need? And so recently we've listened to them. And you say about men talking, for example, earlier. I love this vibe. So not only do we every day, the men in the community are talking, but they're also they're looking out for their other halves. And they've said, where can my partner go for support like this? And we had assumed that there was loads out there for women. And so we were always like, no, this is for men. This is NeXYs Fertility. We're filling that gap for male fertility support. But what they meant was there wasn't something specific for the partners of men going through male factor infertility.
Yeah.
So we were like, oh, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So we've run 2 now, haven't we, since the last pod that we've put out? But we've now got a couples group in the community, and we've also been running couples online meets, which have been very well attended.
Yeah,
incredibly attended. And what we have, you've said it already, Sean, but it's that fact of the partners are part of the process of it all, and men want to feel like their partners are with them on this journey. They're still, see, that male only space is still incredibly vital, and that's what we'd call our bread and butter, isn't it? That is what we do. But supporting the partners, the wives, is a developing importance and something that we initially missed, but we listened, and that also obviously moves on to the fact of we've opened up a ladies group. We wondered what to call it. The women's group didn't quite sound right, did it? So we went with the ladies group.
Yeah.
The ladies group in the community now, which is for women only, and it's facilitated. I can't even say that word. Facilitated? What's the word when someone...
Yeah, that's it.
Is that
facilitated?
That's the one. It just didn't come out right, mate. Sorry. By our lovely wives. They're overseeing things just to make sure everyone's comfortable in there. But it's a space for partners to discuss maybe what they're struggling with, or if they've got any specific questions about male factor process, or just how to support their partner. Because we claim to be the easy bit in terms of men, like we're uncomplicated, but I think I'm quite a complicated guy. I think women need that spot to go and talk and have that safe space.
Because that's the thing, we're not even in it. As much as we have the men only chat group and the men only monthly meets, it was in that first couples meet that Jenna, my wife, said to the girls, do you want a female only online meet? And they were all putting their hands up, and then she said, should we also start a female only chat group? And we're like, yes, because also we get it, there's things that they want to say that without us hearing, have a rant about us and all that. I get it. It's fine, but it's because what we saw in that first couples online support group, initially when I sprung it on Jenna on the morning of it, because I knew that if I told her too early she would get a bit anxious about it, but she was like, oh, I don't know if I've got anything to offer. I said, of course you have. And then we did it, and she just really grew into it. And then she was then offering more. And in the last one we did, she was writing notes, and I was like looking down going, and she was writing down common themes and topics to then take to the next women only group.
See, switched on, mate. They think, like, Jen did a similar thing in terms of, she was like, I don't know what would I give? And I said, you give your experience. I said, it is nerve-wracking. Like, you and me remember when we started this, we were nervous about it and everything, but you grow into that role. And we're so appreciative of Jen and Jenna to do this. And it's already having a positive impact on so many people. Yeah, amazing.
And what was interesting is that there were men came to that, the first couples group we did, there were men that came to that with their female partners that had been in the community for a long time but had never been to any of the men's online meets and had never really engaged in the chat. But it shows that they're there. They just needed a different gateway to get that support. And it's like, for us, we're passionate about giving men that support they need, because it hasn't been there. It wasn't there when we needed it. And it's like, okay, the same end result is still reached of them getting that support. It's just a different way of facilitating it. So it's one of those things, we did it and we're like, oh, should have done that sooner. Why didn't we see it? But of course, like that's why we're open to change and to listen to as to what the community wants and needs. So for any female partners listening, and I'm sure there are plenty, you have your own dedicated space in our community. You have couples group as well, like chat group and couples meets and female only meets. So come to the malefertilityhub.com new web address, or even if you go through the old one, NeXYs Fertility, you'll still find us. It will redirect, but join the community. You're absolutely part of it, and you need that support, that validation too. So love to see you there.
Yeah, definitely, man. I think that's perfectly said. So we've covered the fertility show, we've covered the Male Fertility Hub, and the new groups in terms of the couples groups and the female or the ladies group. I'll always refer to it as the ladies group. It sounds much nicer. So yeah, they're our main announcements, aren't they? We have got a lot coming. We've got a lot in the pipelines that we've been holding back a little bit because we knew the Male Fertility Hub was coming. So yeah, we're looking forward to really diving into things over the summer now, and some exciting announcements on their way.
Yeah, massively.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I guess that's us done for this little announcement. And if you want to get in contact beforehand, obviously you can go to the malefertilityhub.com now. But also from a podcast point of view, everything stays the same. So you can reach us on Instagram at the Male Fertility Podcast, or you can email us at the malefertilitypodcast@gmail.com. Exciting times ahead, mate.
All good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting cracking.
Yeah, man. Have a good one, and I'll speak to you soon.
Ciao.